Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank you for joining us for the first event of our week-long teaching with Bermuda Piano Festival. I'm very privileged to introduce and welcome my former teacher, Eteri Andjaparidze, who many of you may know from our past seasons. In fact, she has been a part of the festival since our inaugural year, 2017, as a teacher, performer, and artistic advisor. So I'm very pleased to be able to welcome you now to this online masterclass. We have four students from Bermuda, United States, and Spain. And so, therefore, we've decided not to impose a strict cutoff time on the class as a whole. And I invite all observers to join and leave and rejoin as they wish, as you wish. And now, without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Eteri and the first participant, Milena, Martínez, Alicino. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex, again. And hello, Milena. And it's wonderful to have you. But before we get to our session, I would like to thank everybody who is a part of our session now. There is unfortunately no way for me to see who they are, but I hope that there are some people from the past and some new people, as well as we're having new students this year. And so it's been quite successful season. Unfortunately, we had to put a pause with Fermata for last summer, but we decided to resume it this year online, and we are doing continuing our Bermuda Piano Festival, which is wonderful to do remotely, but of course the best thing is to be on location and experience it right there. But this gives us also an opportunity to bring in students from different parts of the world and of the country. So that's why Milena is joining us, and she's able to. And so because, originally we would have this piece that Milena is playing probably toward the end of the program. But usually, because, the programming of Masterclass is also nice when it is programmed like a concert program. But due to the time difference, so we decided to let her go first. And I would like to ask Milena to introduce yourself, please, to the audience. And, by the way, to me, better, because this is the first time we are meeting. So please tell everybody where you come from, where you study, what you are going to play. And so we'll take it from there. And after that, you will play. Please.
Yeah. So my name is Milena. I come from Spain. I finished my master's in Amsterdam 2 years ago. And I was living there, but because of COVID, I came back to my country, to Spain. Now I'm living with my parents again. And I wanted to have a lesson with you because I heard you playing and I was recommended. Yes, I'm going to play the first movement of Chopin Sonata No. 3.
In B minor.
And I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much for having me.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So I'm going to mute myself now, so there's no distortion from New York City noise, so in any way disturbing Chopin. And we'll let you play complete first movement, and then I'll come back on and we'll take it from there. Please do. ovation. Thank you very much. Bravo. Very well played. You have played it for a while, huh? It's not a
Yes.
new word. Yes.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So you play obviously complete sonata, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. And unfortunately, we cannot work on it. So, was this a part of your graduation work? Graduation. So, yeah, because it's sank in. It's you hear that it is already. You connect with it very well. You connect with it on certain personal level. You have your own relationship with it, and it is very interesting. Some of it I like very much, and a certain qualities that you bring out, such as, first of all, this magnitude of this work and its majestic pace and its majestic profile. At its entrance, it's a huge, and it has its narrative moments very strong. Yeah, as most of all of them, including mazurkas, works of Chopin, do have some narrative element, right? So here it's very, very clearly you are following it, you feel the shape well, you are building it, so you are with it very much. And also you are giving this sort of very proud Chopin's, character. Not super lyrical and sometimes, super tender and exaggerated in his delicacy, which you could hear very well. So this is real, large form. You have it very well. Of course, with the remote setting, it's hard to work on the subtleties of the sounds and shades of the Chopin sound that we may want, and we do work in room setting when one-on-one. It's practically impossible because the way you play, I hear you differently with all this transmission, and whatever I will be giving you back, it will be also different. But we may try, because to me, few things sounded little bit similar in this. I think gradation of your dynamics could be a little wider. You could allow yourself maybe a little more range of sound palette. And also I had a feeling a little bit that you were trying, you were bringing in sort of more force than you would otherwise, just to make me hear you overseas. There's little bit. There was a little bit of that. Okay. Oh, I lost you for some reason. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, there was some intercept. I don't know why. Yeah. So see all these technicalities. So that was it. Now, having said that, again, this pride and the fact that you are from Spain and right now you are in Spain, and that Chopin's life was so closely connected, and he spent a lot of time of his life in Spain and absorbed that how I would say environment, not only melodic but also rhythmical, that you could hear very often in his music also, and that proud character that is going through this first movement. That is great. So now let's start it again. First of all, tell me, which edition do you use?
The new one of, the Polish one, but the new one.
Eteri, yeah. Mm-hmm. Eteri. You know what? Because there are few things that got me a couple of notes, and then I think it's because of the edition, and that sounded a little peculiar, because you need always to check with Chopin. As we know, there is issue with him after completing his and submitting them to the publishers. So he would still change things as he was teaching people, because he would change some harmonization, he would change some things and little details. And there are many autographs versions of Chopin's pieces, as we know. And whoever finds them claim that this is one and only. No, there are several. So, and that could be my only disappointment with this particular edition is that the first sonata is not included. Yeah, because I don't think that anyone has the right to dismiss first sonata by Chopin, no matter the authority, musical or otherwise. But it's a beautiful work of young, naive Chopin. Of course, it's nowhere near of such perfection in terms of shape as B flat minor or B minor sonata, but it has its own place. B flat minor, B minor sonata would not have happened without that first one. And all three sonatas are four-movement sonatas. That is also important thing to show, and how he was working on the form and bringing them together is so. Dismissing the first sonata makes me very unhappy without that addition, but it is interesting anyway. So I've been brought up on Shimanov, on Paderewski, and that's what I've been using most of my life, with references to Eker and some other, and Klindworth and Scholz and Mikuli and all others, but mainly Paderewski, and so that's what I have in front of me. So therefore, let's restart one more time and work on this first theme and main page and introduction. Also, one thing which on one hand, I do like very much. On the other hand, sometimes you get too carried away with it and it takes you off the main line of the texture of Chopin. You hear layers, you hear voicing, you hear sub voices and lines very well, and you follow them very well. But sometimes going too much into it, it's you start to bring it out too much, and it becomes a bit too thick for Chopin's lean nature and very, very fine bone china of which his music is made. Sometimes you make it of granite and you love it. But even if you go into the stone area, it should be marble. It may never be clay or granite or other types of rock. It could be only Carrara, marble of Carrara, or fine bone china. No other material, that. Mm-hmm. So therefore, be careful with that. But I do like and I appreciate that you are hearing. Okay, go ahead. Please start. Okay, thank you. First suggestion. Why don't you sit a little bit on the tip of the chair? You are sitting on your chair as comfortably as you are you would be in a couch, and starting. So the beginning sounds a little bit casual, So if you sit on the tip of a chair, first of all, your contact with the piano would be much better. So you will be. I do not like people who dig into the piano at all, but you may want to make physical contact and sort of direction toward the music. Well, what are you looking at? What are you looking
because
at?
There is no normal chair. That's why I'm like regular piano chair. So
it's okay. What I'm saying,
Yes.
Move it a little bit off. Move it move the chair. Yeah, move the chair back to the back. Okay. All right. So and so, because this also will give you direction of the phrase. So if you sit like that, see, it sounds different.
Okay.
Did I ask you to stop?
No, I'm not. Yes. I will play. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, thank you. These are very important statements from the very beginning. And it sounds very orchestral, by the way. As if you recall the tutti orchestral tuttis of concerti. So it sounds like that, and right. So like concerti, it sounds a lot. This sonata has that pace, and you may want to feel this orchestral quality to it. Therefore, these chords, I'm playing them slowly, so you hear that. You need to use direct pedal, and clear it in between the chords. Your sound sounds too much connected. There is a phrase, of course, there is direction of the phrase, but so they are separated. They're détaché. Orchestra would play détaché, and then that's your highest point. So this F sharp, of course, and then the highest point of the phrase. These two voices coming together, and then this has already different quality. It's coming down, so therefore timbre. So one goes up, the other one takes it down. So dynamically, this is one big race consisted of two parts. Try. Come to this. You cannot slap Chopin. Okay, now connect the phrase to make one. Make it. Okay, not better, but this cannot be stronger than this because it's going that. So that's where you are going. The drama of Romanticism, the drama of 19th century is here, but not here. This is applicable to any time of music, except the 20th century. You can hardly hear triads. But these are here. This whole Romanticism in this phrase. So it's going here. Although he does not have sforzando, he does not need to write sforzando, but it's going into that A. Go. All right. Do it again. Do it again. You tried to do it, but you tried to do it more physically than emotionally. You haven't processed it. Try of the phrase. Think of the phrase. Going that way. But also, do not forget that there we have 8 notes. Note. You played quarter right now. Don't play quarter.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Yeah, don't play quarter. No. I mean, you did not do it deliberately, but it just sounded that way. And one more thing before we move on. This sonata comes and bursts into our awareness with this such a dramatic thing, like many of Schumann type, compositions are like, or so it comes in right away. So you need to come on a tip of the wave emotionally. You are starting it a little bit, I mean, which is good on one hand. On another hand, it's not good. You are starting it very well prepared. So artistically, impression should be that you are just thrown into it. So you are, or it just overwhelms you right away. And you are just opening the door, come in, saying, try. No. It's not quarter. You are playing quarter. It is not no. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One more time from the beginning. Yeah, and quarter is here, and that's the difference. Here we have nothing. Then then there is a quarter. So we want to hear difference. So he did it for a reason. It's not that because he had nothing better to do, right? So he did it for a reason. It's direction of the phrase. It's the impulse of the phrase. It's where it is going. Try one more time. No, not good. So do not respond to my request or my instruction. That's a bad thing. So do not respond to my instruction in a way, okay, so she tells me I'm doing it. I tell you to try. So I tell you are here to get something from me, whoever you're taking Masterclass with, right? So, and maybe try it later and see, maybe that fits what you really want. But I want for you, for a student who I'm working with, in the Masterclass especially, to live with me the momentum that I'm offering to you. Only this way it may work. If you sit and, okay, so she's telling me and I'll do it and then we'll move on, it will not work. And we will not move on until I hear you living through it. Okay? Go. Better. Can we stay longer in piano? More subdued, this piano. Because then you have a long wave to open up, and your first forte is only here. Your first forte is only here. And you, as many of those who play this sonata, you get into this forte already here. So here you are already playing forte. You should still be playing piano. So when you have word crescendo written at that spot, should be still piano. Because this is your starting point, right? From which it increases towards forte. Right? Let's do this again. Change of the key, right? Again, same note. So this is not your pick. Your pick is here. Very good. This was very good because you had the long runway and you took off beautifully. Now, here when you played, right, there is a 16 rest. I strongly suggest that you release pedal. Yeah. So here. Okay, release pedal. Rests for Chopin are maybe even more important than sounds. It's air that he always needed, both poetically, figuratively, and physically. He was short of breath physically. So this sigh and getting air for him was always very important. So dismissing rest is a crime anyway, but dismissing rest of Chopin is just in prison forever, like for life sentence. You may not allow that, to happen. So always, it's like air, it's like if you let's say like air in paintings of Vermeer. You look at it and you see air, right? So please. Mm-hmm. No, that's bad. That's bad. Get in the room.
Sorry?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying, stay in the character. Stay in the when communicate. Do not switch off in terms of character when I'm telling you something. Do not switch off. Stay. No, 8 note. First 8 note. And then 16. No. Not good color. Not a good color.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, you missed that first thing because you started playing louder sooner than you should. Yeah, but the beginning was not bad. Try again. No. One more time. You can do it better. Okay, so once you reach it well, down and slide down into the mud. You know. So. And then it's everything. The happiness is here, right? It's so wonderful here. And all of a sudden, this monstrous diminished chord that falls everything into the precipice and catastrophe. So he's playing with this highest and lowest and the widest possible range in emotion. You can find them all on the first page. Okay, don't start from there. Not bad. But in this run, listen to the left hand here. So that will lead you through. Yeah, I'm not saying they played louder, no.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Listen to it. So it will lead you. Yeah, because then it continues. So it is taking you to the bass. Right, we need to hear that bass. That metamorphosis is happening in the bass. Okay, one more time. Maybe you can stay a little longer. Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more time. Stay piano. You know, this is a very it's absolutely chilling experience here when you hear the distance of these voices. Just your hair should go up, should rise, so it. So, and do not do crescendo too much. Again, your first forte is only when you reach this E flat major. You do not have forte before. So it's not in your interest to start very, appassionato here. Quite the contrary. Pull it back. Okay, now, yes, in terms of building the rise towards E flat major, it worked very well. Now, technically, what we cannot spend on time on that now, but you cannot allow yourself this or us to hear this. Accommodation, between the voices. Absolutely no. It has to go absolutely. Okay, so it has to be absolutely smooth. Plus, never lose the end of the middle voice phrase. For example, you always. I never heard the ending. Never heard the ending. So you are, because you are already busy with this to make it to B flat. No, imagine. So it's do not think that you are a pianist who has only two hands and only two fingers. Think of this as a duet. So it doesn't. There is no jump here. You are creating jump. Just more horizontal. Horizontally reach it. Again. No left hand. Try right hand only. Try right hand only. Yeah. So you are arranging for a comfortable life here. There is no. It has to be in tempo. So. It's not a big deal at all. Really. See, and you made it all in time. You made it all in time, and you do not need to any super rubato. It's not the moment for that. It's more. How can I say it? Subdued. Okay, and then left hand. So do not do this, for example, and then it's all here. Be more minimalistic, more economical in your gesture. Mm-hmm. Bravo. So you'll work on that and then you will achieve, and it will be just one. Otherwise, we are hearing two bars, finally a flat major. You know? And now it has one flow. Continue. Mm-hmm. Do not rush. He writes accents. He wants us a flat major, right? Establish. Okay, how about maybe release the pedal? Be more delicate with pedaling, okay? Your pedal is, I cannot say that it is dirty, but it can be more artistic here. On the rest, just think of rest. Yeah, the only thing now here in this subvoice. I'm hearing. Whereas see the B flat not that much part of sub voices. So we have and I'm hearing, because your thumb being here, your thumb is a little bit overwhelming. So it's double sub voicing,
Yes.
very difficult. Interesting thing. What is the dynamic there?
Yeah, there is none.
None. Why are you playing piano?
Yeah.
What determines your selection? Especially he writes so here diminuendo, right? Diminuendo, right? Most important thing here is sostenuto. Sostenuto. So it's not like, let's say, other themos here, like. It's not like that. It's not that sheer difficult. It's not. Although, had he not written sostenuto, we would have played it like that.
Mhm.
But he writes sostenuto. And gives us all these sub voices. So it's very clear that later on, at the end of the century, Rachmaninoff would be born, right? So with this sort of things. Yeah, so but we want to hear wonderful soprano, not coloratura, not very high, but wonderful, very full tone soprano, which are unfortunately non-existent today. But listen to all singers. Listen to all singers. And so you may yeah, speaking of, your country gave most of the, so many wonderful voices to this world, including sopranos. And, if you think Caballé, think Berganza, think, whoever you want. Okay, sostenuto. Why sostenuto? Because this theme expresses love. He opens up his heart. Before that is what was more of a conflicting, of the beginning, and it was harder. This he embraces all words. So you need to sing with open heart and completely, open emotion. Don't hold it. It's written at the end of his life. He had nothing to fight, to hide.
Yeah, to hide. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Now, if you slightly move the tempo, because you are sort of pulling back a little bit. So if you continue in the same time, so the passion stays, rather than Do not make it. Yes, he did. Opus 57 is verses, but this is not a lullaby at all. Okay, so the Mhm. And first time piano appears there.
Yeah.
Yes. So, which means, and he changes texture in his left hand, and it becomes a. It becomes more sheer, and here. Wait, sorry. So all of a sudden, this turned into the minor. And continue, and then super delicate all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So passion gives us now different, that passionate, output. All of a sudden comes out, turns in the most delicate way. Okay, try this. And especially, try from here. And after that, transformation. Listen. So here is what I want you to consider. Again, where is forte? Do not play forte here. And then there are rests. Here is forte. This is a splash, but you are already too much. So here there is practically recycling the same dynamics, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So stay piano and the rest. Again, rest. I'm not hearing that. No, same tempo. There is no mesh. All of a sudden, he gets detached, and he's just observing the beauty of it. He's here. He is no longer participating. And then again. Every next one, more and more, and then again, very calm. Just settling down. No. Wait, can you just try this? More serene, more, I don't know, more angelic. You are a little bit playing like a, at the playground. It's not about that. It's very poetic and very, very airy. That was very nice. But speaking of sub voices, C comes into La. It's not it's dotted quarter. See? You lost that La. You played the, but we wanted. Yeah. Dolce. Dolce, like a lace, like a vial, beautiful vial. Okay, very nice. I liked how you approach this. Because at the end, he gets back to into that character, right? And in the left. And then so the 16 notes bring us back to da-da-da-dam, that momentum. But so as you approach it, keep it alive. You are playing this, and then so you are sort of doing it bar by bar. if you arrived very nicely. Do you repeat it when you're playing in concert?
No. It's been a while, yeah, since yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a question for everybody. I in B flat minor sonata, I find it necessary, absolutely necessary to repeat, because otherwise the big climax happens too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Here, probably, I mean, when I used to play it very actively, I used to repeat it. I used to repeat everything because I sort of follow what composers ask you to do. So I would not question it. But you can repeat it only if you can spin it on a different level. It's not like you are going back to repeat what we have already heard and what you have experienced. But if you can experience it and feel it on a different level, only then you can repeat it. And I wish for you to train yourself to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's proportionally that will serve quite interesting, because then arrival into development would be even more interesting, how he turns away. But here, and here you can take off even more. So this sonata has, speaking of which, has a lot of Schumannesque qualities in terms of ardor, passion, and that sort of abandoned emotional output that this high aristocrat gave us actually in his sonatas. So I'm afraid that we need to wrap it up with just completing only exposition. So because we have other people in waiting, standing by. But so this might give you some food for thoughts.
Absolutely.
Take it or leave it. So it's your call.
Thank you very much. It was very
So
inspirational.
think about it. Remember that Chopin lived in Spain, but he did not do bullfighting.
No, in Mallorca, bulls, I think, didn't reach the island, no?
Yeah. So therefore, just remember, and again, gradual approach. Do not get too big too soon. Give it a runway and just think more. How can I say? Follow the music more than impose on it.
Yes.
Because I think you are already technically and in good possession of this material in some way. So to allow yourself to experiment with what music asks you to do rather than what you feel. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you, and I will see you in Puerto Rico.
Yes. Yeah.
See, we are traveling in the Atlantic. Without leaving our home. We have to travel in our home. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we can
Thank you very much.
We can bring something else. Okay?
Thank you very much. See you.
You're very welcome. All the best to you. Okay? Oh, here is Lilia.
Hi.
Hello, dear Lilia. Very nice to meet you. This is lovely to have you as a part of the class. Please, and you are in Bermuda, right?
Yeah.
I wish I were there sitting next to you. Tell me, well, first of all, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Lilia, and I'm 7 years old.
Wait a second. Before you do that, you may want to move your computer a little closer to the piano because I do not hear you well. Can you?
Unfortunately not. Sorry, it's on an actual computer. That's the closest we could get it. So
I don't hear anything what you are saying. I don't hear anything.
Well, let's try this.
Maybe microphone. Maybe moving microphone. Would it be possible? Do you have external microphone? Maybe moving slightly. Or when you speak to me, just tell me or introduce yourself here and then go and play and whatever we have, we'll work with it.
My name is Lilia Matcham and I'm 11. And I'm taught by all of the
You are breaking up. You are breaking up. Maria, I think we have a problem.
Hi, just adding myself to the stream. Okay, so Lilia, I've adjusted your microphone settings as much as I can. I've made you very loud, but the microphone is still not picking up the sound. You're cutting out quite a bit. Is there another laptop that you can use, or even is there a phone? Maybe a phone, like an iPhone, might be a little bit better because then we can bring it closer.
Try and do it like that. Okay. So let me try and join the. Okay. Oh, I'm in Safari.
Are you trying to join via phone?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's hard to hear. Do you hear me all right, Lilia? What do you hear?
Okay, we're nearly in. And then we need to come out of this one.
I don't see you yet on the stream through the phone. Oh, there you are. I see you. Yes. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to remove you from the computer and I'll add you in from the phone. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Hang on a sec. Hang on. Let me get you out of the studio. Okay, that should be better. That should take away the feedback. I've kicked you out of the studio from the computer. Okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll see how the sound is.
My name is Lilia, and I'm 11 years old, and I'm taught by Oliver Grant at Bermuda School of Music, and I'm going to do my grade 5 performance grade.
Okay, we can hear you. So I'm going to leave.
When did you start?
Playing piano?
Yeah.
When I was 3, maybe.
So did you want it? Was it your sort of, you wanted to play the piano, or did you think of any other instrument ever?
My mom is a piano teacher.
Oh, I see. Okay. And your mom is there. Do you study with your mom?
Yeah.
You studied with your mom. So did I, by the way, when I was there. So and it was a great experience for me, and so she has remained my teacher throughout her life. I mean, I studied with in Moscow Conservatory with Professor Gornostaeva and others, but so she remained the first, the authority for me always, and most important one. Okay, so and your mom is there. So hello, mom.
Hello.
Yeah. So so you are playing this lovely Sibelius piece, right?
Yeah.
So is this one of the requirements in your repertoire? Because I'm more or less familiar with the post requirements, right? Repertoire requirements on you. Okay, and you played it in your exam?
I haven't done it yet.
You haven't done it yet. When will it be your design?
Well, I have to record the video
Oh, I see.
July, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, let's try. Please play for me. Yeah, first of all, you know what? Play few notes. Let me hear. Let me hear a little bit how the sound comes through. Play. I mean, play few notes of the piece, not just notes of the piano. Yeah, that's all right. Good. Yeah. So this sound is much better then. Do you have a watch on your hand?
Do you have a watch?
Do you have a watch? Take it off. Okay, good. Go ahead, play now. I'm going to mute myself so I do not distract you, or New York City noise doesn't distract you, all right?
Okay.
While you play. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Now, so obviously we need to imitate harp here, right? Yeah. So, and it's interesting that he calls, so it's part of these 10 bagatelles, right? So, do you know what bagatelle is? Do you know what bagatelle is?
No.
Yeah, because see, it says the title has, so it's the harp player and then number 8 from bagatelles, opus 34. So, bagatelles are what in English we would call like trifles, very easy, like nothing.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Easy pieces, not even worth attention, but something that still these trifles that nothing, but still it makes our life more beautiful. And there is nothing, it's something very unimportant, and yet it's just a component of beauty. So this, and he wrote 10 bagatelles in this opus, and all of them are beautiful. Maybe over time you will be learning all of them and having them in your repertoire. So, but this is a very good choice because it will give you a chance to work on your tone. So, this is in what key is it written?
It is in flat minor.
B flat minor, right?
Yeah.
Right? So B flat minor is a very sad key, very melancholic, and very, I would not say it as hopeless as E flat minor, which is, but here, but it's a very sad piece. So obviously the harp player who sat down to play it is not in the best mood.
Yeah.
So, and he's coaxing the strings just to take his mind and his feelings, his or her, off what emotionally is somewhere inside, and he feels very sad. So this is sort of bathing in this B flat minor key that he's sort of trying to feel the atmosphere, to feel the color of this of his mood. And then he starts and then again blah blah blah, just sort of going through and plucking the strings of the time. Also, speaking of the fact that Sibelius was a Finnish composer, right? So he was from Finland. So Finland is up in north, right? So, and north of European continent, and that Nordic countries, so that they have their own very interesting world of folk legends and folk music and songs and everything, and it has very strong component of narrative, of storytelling moment. So although we do not have any, let's say, defined melodic line, but we can certainly feel some sort of a character narrative, like a legend that you may want to imagine, and you can imagine anything of whatever you want. And then so this is your melody, see? Because first time, if you play like, if you follow your top voices, and again back to very sad, and then again, and here this next B flat is doubled in time, right? Which makes it more passionate and more dramatic. If the first one and then second one, so your descending moment comes in later, right? So you listen to this. And here it arrives in B flat. First time, and here we and back to this. And here he goes up. And then, so this is the only moment for the first time, but he goes higher. So it's even more dramatic, right? Sorry. And then back to this initial harmonies. And then più dolce, which is even more sweet, right? And then all of a sudden he changes melodic line and gives us, right? Changes it, replaces into, an octave lower. So you can imagine whatever you want. I mean, and here he has stretto. What is stretto? Do you know what stretto is? It's sort of shrunk a little bit, more concise. So it's not too slow. And listen to your left hand. And then you have lento e dolce. Lento e dolce is what? Slow and sweet. Right? Then later on you have again stretto. Then you have only lento. Because here he doesn't want it too sweet. But then in the last one he puts più dolce, which sweeter even, And also what I would like to hear more difference between the harmonies that are spread out and written out like this. Or for example, and then chord together, and then just rolled chord. See? Let's try.
From the beginning?
Yes. Very lovely. Listen. Listen to left hand. And this right hand, more like wandering. Like imagine like maybe a beautiful landscape and the shepherd sitting and playing his and remembering something very sweet and it's like being alone and missing someone. Okay, let's try again. It's too just do not just touch it gently. Let's try a little faster. So these two bars come together. together. This was better, and we want to hear the bass. Now play it again, and then let's move on. And then this goes into this different. Very, very sad. Could you be more attentive to each note? Just to roll it maybe a little more extensively. Not, you're a little bit too compressed here. So therefore, that's what I'm telling you, that it sounds like a rolled chord. And he doesn't write it like a chord. He writes it like in a harp. So each finger, like between two hands. Okay, I have no idea how to do it. And also you can be with pedal maybe more, not as shy as you are. Okay, good. Now, and then we want to don't lose this F because it's continuation. That's your melodic line. So you are a little bit tearing it apart. So you are dropping it. Continue. It's continuous. Continue. Well, since you stop, let's do it again from this first time, and then you continue. But when you continue, I want you to give it a little different feel for your second B flat. So first is like this. And then second time, maybe a little more to hold it longer and to stay with it. And then. And again. No, stay twice longer. Second B flat is 2 times longer, and you are staying exactly the same time. Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you count metrically, but musically, you may want to stay even longer because it's see, that is melody. Da, he's crying. Dee, ra, ra, dee, dee, ra, ra, ra. Second time. Da, dee, ra, dee, ra, dee, ra. What happened to me? Even stronger. Okay. Lilia, dear. So tell me, I will play you 2 harmonies. How do you feel about it? What do you feel? What is the difference?
Well, the second one was it was higher and it was more like the last note was more accented.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it was
Because I want you to tell me how you feel, what you feel about these 2 harmonies. That's what I want to hear. Because obviously there is different and then so they're different. So, but depending on how you feel about how you hear them, you can play either or little stronger. I keep playing this C natural. And I would play the first D flat a little stronger. Because for the next one, when he repeats D flat, he writes più dolce, which would be. This is with the sense of resignation, Just. Senza pedale. Yeah, interesting that the very last phrase is written senza pedale, right? Without.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, give me that. Wait a second. See, there is a little comma between, which means, and again, it is 4 counts. You are playing 2. Let's feel how this melody sadly, very sadly, comes down. This is like something that is melting down. It's da dee da. First exclamation. Dee, da, dee, da. It's very actually choreographic. If you can even imagine it being danced, like da, and then coming down. Dee, da, dee, da. And every time you can do the different splash, it's there are 2 things that are very helpful to feel music and to feel the right character. First of all, we all need to sing. We need to be able to sing. I mean, not like opera singers at all, but we need to internalize musically and identify with all this musical material which is there. That's one thing. And also, you may want to feel the gesture. You may want to dance. You can stage a tiny, little, beautiful choreographic scene on this 2-page lovely piece. Da. It's lament. It's like crying or sighing over something. Try. Try from that D flat one more time. D, ra, ra, D. D flat. Wait, do it again. Do not look at me. Do not look at me. I will stop you when I need to. You get into music. I will stop you. I won't be shy to stop you. Yeah, just you get into music and do not seek my approval. Try to feel what I'm asking you to feel. And once you get into music, I mean, I'm not Sibelius to approve anything. I'm together with you trying to get into his mood and to receive that atmosphere. Okay? So, and when you feel it right and when I hear it coming right, so that means that he would approve. I'm not approving anything. So do not look at me. Try to connect with the music and then you will feel when it comes right. Go. Okay, better. I wanted this sweeter though. Last one. See? Don't be shy to express. I must tell you that performing and playing music, because this is what playing piano is, it's right, or any instrument, it implies performance, right? So it is pretty shameless profession because we should be openly expressing our feelings. When other people, they try to suppress their feelings, and we need to let it all out. If we don't, then it doesn't work. Then we cannot do anything halfway. So therefore, when he asks for even sweeter, make it. Careful with it. Don't put the last. Just give me the last, and do not rush on this. And a little softer. And stay long. Do not give up this mode so easily. Da and satira. Just last bar. Exactly. So the music, you will start hearing how the sound decays, and that's what. Do not cut it. It will tell you when to release your hands, when to disconnect with this piece. Got it? Do you have any questions?
No.
You don't? Or if not questions, do you have maybe something that you didn't understand, or you want to do otherwise that I'm telling you? Huh? No? So will you try to keep, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, always think about whatever you are playing. Think about characters, atmosphere. So that's the first thing, because these notes and everything, like letters and words in language, they express something. First of all, we need to hear meaning and understand, to hear what is behind that music, right? And connect with this. Do not be shy in expressing yourself, okay? And I hope that when we resume things in person, and at long last we will be able to come back to this beautiful island, I will hear you live.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Thank you, and thank your mama for bringing you up so in such a lovely way. Yes. Okay, thank you. All the best to you.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hello.
There you are. Very nice to see you, my dear.
Yes, very nice to see you too.
Yes. So you are all set now for.
Mhm.
So let's, just in case, let's check our audio setting.
Okay. So
Well, I hear you're speaking fine. Now play. Oh, we are doing Haydn, right?
yes.
Yes. So let me get the music and play something.
Mhm. Mhm.
Second movement.
Mm. Mhm.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, give me just 1 minute. I need to get up. I've been sitting for almost 2 hours. I'll be right with you, okay?
Mhm. Okay.
You started with such presence that I didn't want to interrupt, but okay. So now I'm you. Well, first of all, I want you to. I know you, but I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. I'm hopefully we have still people with us listening
Mhm.
and hearing. So introduce yourself and tell what you are playing.
Okay, I'm Tomasz Kleczek. I'm in the Northern Virginia area. Um, I've been playing piano for many years, since I was 6 or 5, and I have two siblings who also play piano, younger siblings, and yeah, piano is a big part of my life. I've applied to piano colleges, and we'll see. Mhm.
Okay. And you are
And
playing.
I'll be playing Haydn Sonata in D major.
Mhm. Excellent.
Mhm.
Well, let's do it now. I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tomek. So it's good that we played complete sonata because that gives us sense of cycle and contrasting movements. And so it is very interesting how in this one of the most joyous and humorous sonatas of Haydn, I cannot say that he has, he lacked sense of humor in other compositions, but this is one of those also on the peak, way, in terms of joy and this con brio and everything. So it's interesting how in these outer movements and inside them is very short and yet very, I cannot say tragic, but dark movement, right? Second movement. Because come to think of it, right? So we are in D major. Again, D major is one of the most joyous keys, and the middle movement, right? So second is in D minor. And D minor has that, throughout the history of music, we can trace the tendency of D minor being very dark and very, in somewhat fatal, just its color of death, starting from, Mozart and even here and then later on as all the way we go. You think of D minor in Mozart and then think of D minor in Rachmaninoff. It's all, if you listen for too long for those pieces, you may want to, I don't know, you shouldn't be left alone, because you really need. And here in this, in between this absolutely fabulous, like champagne, and just sparkling movements, he puts these like saraband type movement, very baroque. Let's say we don't know that Haydn wrote it. We would think that it's Bach or Handel, right? So because of, and even and I want you to get into this very atmospheric and very, in somewhat, eternal meaning of this movement, being placed into very specific, joyous in between these movements. So I want you to take it to more extremes, towards both ends. So, and that's on what I want to work today, because my attention to details. You know that I would be picking on, and we must tell audience that this is your new piece. You just played it only once for me. So you just learned it. So therefore, whatever tiny little errors are, they are because it is brand new and practically, freshly, not even baked, I would say. It's just at the stage of having, just ingredients being put together, but we don't see the final. We cannot get the taste of it. But we need to know what our destination is in terms of meaning, character, and that's where I want you to go today. because you are little bit, you are playing allegro, but you are not playing con brio. Right? If there is no con brio, then it doesn't have any meaning. So then, just when you start, by the way, when you started, when you did this sort of not false start, but when you thought that you were warming up, so you were not thinking that I'm listening, and your start then was much better than when you stopped and restarted, because then you put yourself together and you started working. And I do not want you to start working. I want you to just run out in the yard and do fun things. And play and be playful. Be playful. Let it be. And playfulness here, it's the way how you pinch this grace note. And then lightness. And also how you touch. You are, I think my feeling is that, the way how sound comes out in the character, I think you are digging too deep into the keyboard. You need to be more immediate, and your touch should be faster with the keyboard. Not tempo faster, but the touch. So just pitch it, just and lighter. And then contrast. And then different. So be more playful, more inventive, more courageous to do silly things. Don't be proper. Okay? Try. Wait. Faster. Lighter finger. Lighter then. Lighter and closer to the key. No, you are doing too much of. Yeah. And continue, and don't pull back. Now here there is again. Continue the same tempo, because you see 16 notes and you withdraw. The other people won't sing 16 notes; they're rushing ahead, and you are pulling back. Okay, go again. No, don't make it. Your left hand is very heavy. As if you are trying to run and carrying something, heavy, and that doesn't, enable you to run as fast as you want. Okay, do it again. Yeah, pum pum pum. Yeah. There is nothing difficult in it. now, where is that? But here, now, when you finish the phrase, never drop the end of the phrase like this. And it's gallant era. It's everything is upward. When you see conductors of chamber orchestras, they all conduct. They do not conduct like this, So it's always up. Gesture is up like a foam, like a fountain. Okay, this was much better in character, but again with ending of this phrases for what kind of yes, it is for and then not everything is very airy. No, Tomek, there is piano and then forte, right? And then I want to hear the contrast. Again, we do not need to the drill into it. Lighter. So when you touch the key, right, just more immediate. You are a little bit. You're like sticking your fingers to very, very deep. They are just a little too attached, longer to the key than you. It needs to be more snappy touch. Yeah, pum pum, yeah, pum pum. Yeah, pum pum, pum pum pum, pum pum pum, pum pum pum. So more this part of your fingertips. So you are playing more with hands, more fingertips. Pum pum pum, pum pum pum, pum pum pum, pum pum pum. No. See? Mm-hmm. Hey, no. The rhythm. Pum pum pum, pum pum pum, pum pum pum, pim pum pum. No, you are rushing. Pum 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 pum. Yeah, yum ba bum. Okay. Okay. Again, contrast here. So major. can do that. Again. Now, well, this can be maybe more individualized. So more melodic. So let's say, speaking of, let's say if you want deeper touch of the in passages, this would be the time. Not like this. More legato. And then okay. So this, and then piano, and again piano, and crescendo into forte here. Forte should be there. So you play in place of crescendo. You already played forte. Okay. Again, be more reactive, more immediate, more spontaneous to the changes of harmonies, texture, and characters. Go again. Good intention, but just pulling back. No. As if the sonata has heart problems. No. It's all rolling. Again, not rushing, but also not pulling back. You know, you should feel that exuberant energy which is here, unstoppable energy, but it has very precise rhythm, and it's unmovable. Go. And lighter. What are you playing? Notes. First time you played it. I thought it was an accident. Now it's not an accident. Okay, Tomek, circle it, please, so you do not forget it. Okay. No, and then very light. And then here also license. No retardando. Everything was good except this. And then you started rushing. And no contrast. And then light. From the trill. Piano doesn't mean slower. Again, quicker release from the key. Got it? Yeah, let me see. What is our time? Oh, okay. Let's move on to the saraband again. So we know what saraband is, right? So saraband is mournful and this dance and procession. So that's what we want to hear. You are playing it a little bit. You are like you are making statement here. As if you are making a presentation in the class. No, it's not. And then listen to this suspension. Go. See, once you started it in the correct mode, so you were able to sustain. But still, I am picking on you because, when we pick too much, that means that you are too good. Not that you are not too good. So, this goes here. And here is your climactic moment. And even more. And then pianissimo. So, in other words, this is again the word. Wait. What? Oh, sorry, I was playing. Just misplaced my harmonies and fingers and ears, everything. Now, most dissonant moment in the whole movement. So so here, right here, and it feels like a dead end. Speaking of this D minor, right? Absolutely hopeless and dark. And then even more. And then. As if you submit. And then and sit on this. And rhythmically, therefore, when you arrive this, you rushed with resolution. So you did not have enough of drama. And you did not listen enough to the dissonance of this chord. Okay, play it second, try second half. Again, no, I just need to get up for a little while. Okay, to stand up. Okay, now, when you play it like this, with this sense of importance, so this 4 lines of this beautiful, majestic movement can become a real big deal, which it is. Now, after this, and once you feel the dissonant of that chord, Tomek, will tell you how to descend after this emotionally, and then after this you play ending, and then you will know how to move into your next movement. Okay? Do it.
From
Well, just last 4 chords. So, but in terms of sound and dynamics, take it from there. At the same level. Don't do this. He writes piano. Why are you starting like as if you are horse racing? One more time, it is a very important moment of transition. So you do not release pedal before you start the final movement. You keep it and you release here. Otherwise, it sounds like interruption and start. So you just take it like just you pull a thread, you know, and then try again. Wait. Here is something that what I do not understand, whether it was your rhythmical sort of instability, or was it a lag of a sound? Something was. So you were sometimes either stretching or then pulling and pushing. That was my feeling, what I was hearing. And to such an extent that I think that it is not possible that you do that. Can you replay the second half? No. It's you. in your head, that beat. But so once you start playing it, it becomes very heavy. Tiny split of a second more between forte and piano acoustically. So because they're just piling up too tightly. Okay. Okay. Why? Did anybody write tempo change? So why are you changing? So minor and major does not have to be different in this within the same movement and in the same pulse. So, except come on. And then very light. Almost no dynamics. Everything very light. If you stay absolutely the same dynamics here for both repeats and stay very neutral, and this will sound very witty. And then subit, subit of from here, because change of harmonies, and then that will allow you this contrast. Okay, again, very light all the way through. Why did you stop? Did I tell you anything to stop? Stop. Okay, go. No, piano, pianissimo, all the way through this section. Only here, subito. Only there, subito. Okay. Piano. Everything was very good. Piano. Contrast, flute, orchestral. Tommy. What is your fingering? No, wait. Left hand fingering. Tell me.
4-1 and then 3-1.
Try 3-1 and 2-1. Yeah, this would be lighter. Yes. No, yum. Last chord cannot be like you drop an anchor there. Yeah. So, do not forget. That's all.
Great.
Make it happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well done. I'm hearing myself, I'm hearing echoes. So, which is very strange, but okay, I need to move on to my last, from D major to D minor into Prokofiev. So stay with us in the class. Okay, thank you, Tomek.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Bye. Oh, hello, Yali.
Hi.
Hello, my dear. So let me try something. I'm hearing my echo. Let me see. Little bit I'm hearing. I don't know why. Yes.
Have you been hearing it all along?
No,
Or just now?
I started 3 minutes.
Okay.
Just all of a sudden.
Not sure.
With Tomek, it has nothing to do with Yali. It started with, as I was saying, last words to
Okay.
Tomek.
So
I
we'll keep an
started-
eye on it. Let's just keep an eye on it then. And okay, I'll go.
That's all we can do. Keep an eye on it. Nothing else. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Here's Yali. So I have exactly the same microphone.
Oh yeah. Can you hear me well?
I hear you all right. So you're saying something now. Play something.
Yeah.
Just yeah, it's very clear. So now, what do you have no this your microphone should be unchecked. This automatically adjustment from
I believe that it is.
Cindy, is it unchecked? Auto adjustment of her microphone? Because I'm hearing myself.
Oh.
I unchecked it, so it's already done.
Yeah,
The auto
but
adjustment.
I'm still hearing myself a little bit. I don't know why. And microphone. So let me check myself. What maybe something changed in my no, nothing changed in my setting. And so okay, if everything is unchecked, that's all we can do. But still, there is something coming through. But we'll live with this. So. Yali, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience if we have anyone left who is patient enough to stay with us or to come in and out. So, and introduce yourself and tell what you're playing.
Yes, I'm Yali and I'm 17 years old. I'm coming from New York City and looking forward to attend School of Music next fall with Professor Andjaparidze. So. And I'll be playing the last movement of Prokofiev's second sonata in D minor.
Excellent. So, let's do it. I'm muting myself and letting you play. Wait. Finale of Prokofiev sonata does not mean that it should be ahead of life.
Yeah.
So it has this, he says vivace.
Yeah.
Nobody says I presto or prestissimo.
Yeah.
And it is rhythm of tarantella. If you do not have the rhythm of the tarantella, it does not matter how fast and technically accomplished you play. If you do not have that bounce of tarantella, this kind, if you do not have it, then it will be absolutely worthless. Okay? Bravo, very good. And I tell you, I heard you with this list about what, 2 weeks ago, right? So no, not so long ago. And it's huge. And I heard you in performance with it. Huge step up, huge. You know, it's, yeah, it has much more defined, you know, characters and details and everything. And so I want to say why well, this eccentricity and wit of Prokofiev is, you know, why I wanted to have in our masterclass, and that's as we had Haydn and Prokofiev next to each other, because these are those features that connect them tremendously. And then the fact that Prokofiev wrote his first classical symphony in classical a la Haydnesque, you know, style. So that bring them very close. And I have paired many times Prokofiev and Haydn in solo recitals, and they always work really very, very well. I mean, very fresh combination it is. Well, people do that, and it may not sound super original these days, but you know, since I started playing the piano in the last century, so having lived half of my life then in the previous century, I can tell you that it was not as original when we were students. So we sort of brought it in. So Prokofiev and Haydn, wit, humor, enigma, so contrasts, unstoppable energy. And I don't know if you attended the previous masterclass at all or not, but so it was in this sonata, right? So it was that same excitement, this liveliness, and how they reacted, their immediate reactions to everything that is happening. And also, again, see, we had D major, now we have D minor, but still that wit persists and stays here. And this is and this tarantella, very clear tarantella written, and now you were able, by the way, to sustain it much better than before. There are a few things that I would like to point out later on, especially in after moderato as you approach. sorry, dear. I need to get my cough drop So, in order to be able to continue, because it gets too dry, or not too dry, it's very humid today, what am I talking about? But when I talk too much, my throat gets dry. Now, pianissimo. Do not do crescendo there at all. Crescendo only on here. Okay? Wherever it's written crescendo, that's like a law in music. When the word crescendo is written, there is still piano. Many of us, and especially younger ones, and when we were young also, when we see word crescendo, we already anticipate it and react to it emotionally sooner than we should. But the more we hold it in pianissimo, the better and more effective crescendo you will have. So you will arrive into the what am I doing? Yeah. So this is your highest point. So you are losing it a little bit before that. I want to arrive into that. Let's do it. You can do it more effectively. You played it very well. I cannot say that it did not work. It did work, but with your potential and the way you played it, you can be even more. Do not smooth angles in Prokofiev. Do not smooth. So just go for it. Even more exaggerated. Okay, right? Okay, Yali? Now, your left hand has quarters. You are playing them as 8 notes. Just press a little more. Yeah, and the last one is accentuated. So because yours is a bit a little too lightweight. And keep pedaling until the end. Yeah. So, and you will have it a bigger burst after this very, very mournful third movement. Yeah. So you need to sort of put everything, all the darkness, you want to put it behind. Right. And just release yourself and release your energy. And so it will work even better. Okay? Yeah. And then when you maybe a notch longer rest. You are rhythmically ideal. You are just on time. But acoustically, when you will play it in bigger space, you may need it just needs a little more hold. From the beginning? Yeah, just from here. No. It's too long. You know what? Now you waited because I told you. It's not. You shouldn't do it because I tell you. You should hear it. What music asks for. And hold the tension in the rest. So no, wait and continue. See? and then switch. You are switching in a very proper manner. You are switching comfortably.
Right,
Don't
right.
do comfortably. So for me, it's a little bit heavyweight, and little more sort of just kick it a little bit up here. Bum, bum. Okay, now after, and now he, and finish it as if you are fooled, feel fooled, and you do not know what to do after that. Do not finish it up with more character. As if feel yourself more like at a circus, like an acrobat, like a clown jumping and bouncing off the batut. Just
Yeah.
the whole thing, the whole section is piano. And do not write it's expression, yeah. Now this is late. Immediacy of switching.
Right.
From being able to jumping up to the ceiling and then down. It's absolute circus.
Right.
That is piano. If I may give you this kind of comparison, you are playing it. Let's say if we compare it to a painting, right? So you are playing it as if you were painting something in oil. It is not oil. No. It's more of a, I don't know, ink, or even drawing, or drafting, or printing. It doesn't have that oil and heaviness of it. It's all very angular lines, very angular. And if you think of the time when this was written, it was when it was written at the turn of the centuries. When I mean, at the same time we had Rachmaninoff, Scriabin, Prokofiev, and Stravinsky, in existence.
Right.
Needless to say, others.
Right.
So, and time was torn apart and culture in different directions. So, and Prokofiev was taking it to its, one extreme, Stravinsky to another extreme. The older guys were trying to hold on to romanticism. Scriabin went crazy and flew up into the space. So it was a very interesting time. So everybody was experimenting.
Right.
Prokofiev was not even experimenting. He knew what he wanted. He came in with his very stubborn and very sarcastic nature, and he was doing what he wanted. So therefore, try to be more edgy and more stubborn, more let's say defined with your features. Listen, this end. Let's say if you were holding a how do you call it? You're holding a balloon, which all of a sudden went flat, and you have nothing. Or you are trying when you go to Central Park. There, people who are blowing this soap bubbles. Let's say if you caught the soap bubble and it's gone. That's it. And you are surprised. Piano. Yeah, because so you need that metaphor there. So metaphor and back. It's hide and seek. The whole thing is hide and seek. Okay. Now, do not rush. Everybody is rushing here. I do not understand why. When the beat stays, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, and plus, when you arrive here, it's very contrasting, and you have staccato in the left and heavy accentuated. Again, very angular, very stubborn, very something very unsettling and clumsy, So you are playing. It's almost elegant if it is fast. The clumsiness and ugliness of this harmony. And after this sort of cubistic figures put together, and then he gives up this pure C major. Which you did very well. But whatever you did, I want you to exaggerate in character even more. Try from the previous. Yali. Yeah. We need to take this. Yum pam 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 pam. Now listen to this. And this, it is like subways. Sorry. Germanissimo. And very, you know, played like all these things happen. As if you have nothing to do with this. And very clean, you know, a new character comes in. New face. Totally uninvolved in whatever happened before. You know, pure, innocent. So don't even know what was before. So, right. Now here, I want little more time. Yeah, bam, bam. As if you come in. Let's say if you come in for no reason, come into the room. There is someone you do not know. Slap on the face and go. Yeah, ta 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 tam, bam, bam, and go away. Okay. Yeah. This chord should represent something that I'm sure you have been told never to do. And I would tell you the same thing in any other case. You know, but this here is you just punch it. You're just yum bam. You should never slap the piano. You should never be harsh on piano. But it's just bam, absolutely careless. Just throwing something. Bam, bam. And throwing something and enjoying it with this sort of fall. Yum bam. Yeah, but do not hold the chord. They too long. Piano. And then, as if you are dusting your keyboard, that would be the gesture. Yeah. Yeah, but do not rush when dusting. Yeah, bam. Do it in the rhythm. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, here comes something that also appears in the end, and that's what I wanted to tell you. So, we do not have rests between these chords. You are playing. He doesn't write it like that. That doesn't mean that they should not be heavier, but hold them longer, as he's asking. Because this obviously, if we orchestrate it, it's played by trumpets. I will say, his writing as Beethoven. You know, he wrote always what he wanted, very precisely. And being a pianist himself, you know, he definitely knew what he wanted from this instrument and how to, and he knew all the instincts of pianists. So sometimes he would do warnings like non accelerando, knowing that we would accelerate.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you see 2/4, you start rushing. No. Piano. Now. And a little longer before you go into moderato.
Okay.
Slightly longer. You were ideally, metrically, you were ideal, but character needs more transformation.
Right.
Do you hear my double voice or not? Because I'm hearing. Huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was hearing myself twice too, a little bit. But
Ah.
now it's better, I think. For me, at least.
On, but hello?
Does anybody have YouTube up? Because you'll get an echo if you've got a YouTube up.
No, I have nothing.
Right?
No,
No.
I don't either.
I have nothing here.
Okay. I don't see any reason why it should have just started, but I hear it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so then maybe we'll just ignore it. Well, what can we do?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check something one more time. Okay. So, and then moderato.
Yeah.
Just calm down. Cool off in this completely. Just throw it behind and as if you are starting different movement. But do not rest in between so that you are
Right.
starting. Yum, bum. Keep the silence, stay with the silence, and then yeah, and dolcissimo and little lighter. I heard it. Imagine. No. Almost. So yours is very well pronounced. No. Almost nothing.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Very important sub voice is taking place here. So you are listening. Hello. That's very interesting. And we do not hear anybody. Let's say, well, if I, okay. Now it's gone. Okay.
No, it's good.
And again, it's Yali, darling. What is dolcissimo?
Sweet. And
No, it's not sweet. It is super sweet.
yeah.
Give me super sweet, but also was super sweet, but not over sweetened. Okay, not over sweetened and not with no fat, please.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. This was better. What I want you to think about this poco a poco accelerando a vivace, al vivace. So vivace should happen only where it is written. And again, vivace, not presto or prestissimo. First of all, the character of the piece, what the composer is asking for, what he wrote, and also for your own safety. Listen, in every way. Why do you want to just call for trouble?
Right.
You know, because you're just putting yourself, your head under an X. So here, poco a poco, accelerando and stay in piano. Look, he writes piano. Where is crescendo? Only
Very end. Yeah.
at the very end. And where does this crescendo lead?
To piano after, right after.
Yeah, to piano, right? Yeah. So again, this is like clowns coming in. And I must tell you something. You may have heard already from your teacher about this, but you know, Russian culture and Russian fairy tales, which element of which is very strongly present in Prokofiev music, had all sorts of strange, funny creatures.
Right.
You know, which were not necessarily nice. You know, some of them like Kikimora, you know, who would live in a swamp and then wait for travelers and then grab them in, and so and I love it. And also, the most important thing that I forgot to mention, overall, across Prokofiev's music, it is very choreographic. It is very choreographic. I mean, he wrote such ballets that are absolutely unsurpassed.
Right.
In terms of music and in terms of fantasy, and also even his operas are somewhat choreographic in terms of, you know, language and elasticity of music. So so there is this moment, jump, and then bounce. So
Right.
and piano. So even if this poco a poco accelerando, you sort of stay not too fast and you can continue doing it in vivace. So you do not have to arrive precisely on time at vivace. So how music, how this, you jump up and then how you land. You know? No, not so pronounced. So you are not at the, you know, the just for phonetic lesson. Again. Now, yeah, okay, better. He writes forte. But this forte is just for contrast, just to emphasize the grumpiness. Grumpiness. Yeah, you're just so small. So again, all these creatures are jumping around. Now, so we are out of circus, we are in the woods, and all those ghosts and things are jumping around. So, and then one of them is just playing very ugly trumpet on C sharp. And you should use pedal here. Pedal it down, and throughout the whole thing, the C sharp should be always the same. Bang, 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 like Jack in the Box, you know, just coming up and then just being pressed back and boom. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Go. Yali, hold it. I'll just tell you about this ending here. This, so C sharp goes, go, and again, tiny, more space. Again, one pedal, and then so finally the C sharp gets resolved in D. So he starts, so this C sharp, what he's doing against all the rules of harmony, polyphony, or counterpoint and anything. So against all rules, he's writing this C sharp as a pedal point. Right. As a pedal point on leading tone. Right. We know pedal point on tonic or dominant, okay, subdominant sometimes, but so he writes it on leading tone and just punches it in our eye as much as you. So this is if you imagine, let's say, street fight, and then somebody's getting up and punching all the bam, 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 all the time. You know, that's what it is, bam. Right. So and people just fall down because of boom. It's like in a comedy, in a funny movie, yeah, bam, bam, boom. Mhm. Okay, and no rush, because otherwise you will not be able to hear and to hold all these layers. So because we have the and then and then we have all of those things. So they will be all smudged. Don't do that. And then again, piano without crescendo here. Piano. Only crescendo only there. Okay. Let's do one more time, vivace, and then move on towards the coda. Mm-hmm. Bravo. A little more this time. A little more time. Because you see, he wrote it. It's not my invention or my. He wrote staccato, sforzando, and this sort of accent. Right. So the bam bam. So again, I want to do. You don't play it seriously, as difficult as it is. Don't play it seriously. Can you do it? The other? Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, in your best interest, needless to say of Prokofiev musically, but yours technically, is to stay piano here as long as you can. Just to and just put this as a raise of this. Everything else And then only one, stay in piano, and there is only one crescendo. And then again, as if nothing happened. So you are passing by in a carriage and you don't even know what is happening there. It's same texture when you need to hold it. Yeah, so there are no risks. Okay, very good, but by no means anybody is allowed to rush this chord or slow. Good girl. Good girl. Very, very well played, very well received, and changes being sort of immediate on the spot, immediately accommodated. So excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we are, so you are our last, you and Prokofiev were our last guests. So thank you. It was wonderful. And let's thank our audience, if there still is anybody left. So, or I don't know, maybe some came back or, didn't have enough patience to stay all the way through. But I had 4 students. I enjoyed working with all ages and levels and all sorts of different and contrasting compositions. So, and I wish it all happening where it should be happening and in person, but we are keeping our hopes up for next summer. So, but it was wonderful. And here is our artistic director. Thank you, Alex, for giving us this opportunity to work with lovely students of ours.
Well, Eteri, thank you very much. I think those of us who were observing probably found it at least as inspirational as those who played. So thank you for that gift.